Imagine the largest heart on Earth, the size of a bumper car, beating rhythmically in the deep blue until it simply stops for the final time. What happens next isn't just a death. It is the beginning of a 100-year feast in the absolute dark of the deep ocean floor. When a whale dies, it doesn't just disappear. It begins a long, lonely descent into the midnight zone, a place where the sun never reaches. Scientists call this a whale fall. Imagine a creature bigger than 2 city buses sinking slowly into the abyss. Why does the ocean floor go silent? And what kind of nightmare creatures are already waiting in the shadows, sensing the vibration of 150 tons of organic gold falling down? The truth is, this massive carcass is about to become the most valuable real estate in the deep sea, and the first guests are already arriving. This isn't just a random event. One single blue whale provides the same amount of nutrients as 2,000 years of normal marine snow falling down. The deep ocean is essentially a vast, freezing desert. Food is scarce. For the creatures below, a whale fall is like an oasis from heaven. But how does something so massive reach the bottom? Gases usually make bodies float, but the extreme pressure and weight pull the whale down fast. Descending at over 1,000 meters, it hits the floor like a biological bomb, triggering a chain reaction that will last for over a century. You might think the story ends here, but we are only at the beginning. Phase 1 is about to start, the arrival of the scavengers. Within hours, the smell of decay travels for miles through the cold water. It is a dinner bell that vibrates across the silent seafloor canyons. The scavengers arrive. Sleeper sharks, giant isopods, and hundreds of hagfish begin the gruesome work of tearing through the thick blubber and muscle. This is the mobile scavenger phase. Up to 60 kilograms of meat vanish every single day as these deep-sea zombies tear the body apart. It looks like a nightmare, but it is a highly efficient recycling system. Nothing goes to waste in a world where every calorie is a treasure. But here is the twist. These animals aren't just finding the whale by luck. The carcass is sending out chemical signals, like a biological SOS. The whale is calling the entire ocean to its grave. It is a summon that reaches predators hiding in the deepest trenches of the abyss. Even octopuses join the fray, using their intelligence to find the softest parts. The feeding frenzy is chaotic, yet strangely organized by nature's design. Hagfish are the champions here. They produce buckets of slime to ward off other predators while they burrow deep into the whale's soft tissues. After months of this intense feeding, the once majestic whale is reduced to a skeleton, but the feast is far from over for the locals. Now we enter the second phase, the enrichment opportunists. This is where the small, the strange, and the tiny begin their long reign. Crustaceans, snails, and bristleworms move in by the thousands. They don't want the meat, they want the oil that has soaked into the sand. The whale's blubber is so rich that it changes the very chemistry of the seafloor for meters around, turning the sand into a gold mine. Did you know a single carcass can change the local ecosystem for over 5 years? It is like a forest growing in a single night. Creatures that exist nowhere else in the ocean suddenly appear. They have been waiting in the water column as larvae, searching for this specific home. It is a biological miracle. The whale provides life to millions of tiny organisms that would otherwise starve in this deep-sea desert environment. But as the years pass, the most terrifying and fascinating phase begins. Get ready for the third act, the sulfophilic stage of the fall. Meet the Osedax, also known as the zombie worm. They have no mouth, no stomach, and no eyes. Yet they are masters of destruction. These worms use acid to drill holes directly into the whale's bones. They are literally mining the remaining fats and proteins hidden deep inside. They rely on symbiotic bacteria to digest the bone. It is one of the most unique and strange relationships in the entire animal kingdom. But here is a chilling discovery from 2025. These zombie worms are disappearing in some areas because our oceans are losing oxygen very rapidly. As bacteria break down the fats, they release hydrogen sulfide. This toxic gas becomes the fuel for an entirely new world of alien life. This is chemosynthesis. life without sunlight. In the deep dark, the death of a whale creates a sunless engine for survival and growth. If these worms die out due to climate change, the entire food chain of the deep abyss could collapse into a silent, empty void. Every creature here is connected. From the giant shark to the microscopic worm, they all depend on the massive gift the whale has left. Think about it. A whale dies, and for 80 years, it powers a hidden civilization that humans are only just beginning to understand properly. Finally, we reach the reef phase. The meat is gone, the oil is spent, but the story of the whale is still far from over. The bones become a hard reef in the middle of the soft sand desert. Corals and sponges attach themselves, creating a permanent sanctuary for life. This artificial reef can stand for hundreds of years. It becomes a landmark, a home for fish, and a nursery for the next generation. Even when the organic matter is gone, the whale's ghost continues to protect and provide for the creatures of the deep, dark sea floor. It is a legacy of life, a 100-year journey from a living giant to a silent city of bone and coral in the abyss. Here is the big reveal. Scientists have found that a whale fall is almost identical to a volcanic hydrothermal vent in terms of energy. One is powered by the Earth's core, the other by a single majestic death. Both are critical for the survival of the deep ocean. It is a battle for survival. Scavengers against opportunists, each playing their part in a grand biological play that lasts for several human lifetimes. In recent years, we have discovered over 129 new species living exclusively on these falling whale bodies in the dark. Take the glitterworm, for example. It is a creature so beautiful and rare that it only appears when a whale reaches its final rest. And then there was the 2026 experiment, where scientists dropped a cow carcass to see what would happen compared to a whale fall. 8 species of rare sharks, never seen before in that area, arrived within hours. The deep sea is always watching, always waiting for food. The death of a whale is the heartbeat of the deep. It keeps the entire ocean floor from collapsing into a barren, lifeless wasteland. But what happens if the whales are gone? Due to hunting and climate change, whale falls are becoming much rarer than they used to be. If we lose the whales, we lose these deep sea oases. We lose the glitterworms, the zombie worms, and thousands of species we haven't named. The deep ocean covers 60% of our planet. We are connected to it in ways we are only just beginning to realize today. A whale's death is not an ending. It is a spectacular transformation. A gift that keeps giving for over a century in the dark. It reminds us that every life and every death has a purpose in the grand design of our beautiful, mysterious, and fragile blue planet. So next time you think of a whale, don't just think of its song, think of its final journey into the deep sea abyss. What do you think? Are whales the secret key to the entire ocean? Leave a comment below with your thoughts on this incredible journey. If you were shocked by these deep sea secrets, hit the like button and subscribe to join us as we explore more planetary mysteries. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, and remember, the most amazing things on Earth are often hidden in the darkest places of all. Like this video if you were shocked, and subscribe to never miss another deep sea secret. What should we explore next? Tell us. The ocean still holds many secrets. Each whale fall is a story of life born from the shadows. See you in the next deep dive. Let's take a closer look at the sheer scale of the nutrients involved. A single blue whale is a mountain of energy for the deep. It is equivalent to tens of millions of smaller fish dying at once. The concentration of life in one spot is absolutely mind-blowing. Scientists are using ROVs to track these sites for decades. They are like time capsules, showing us how the ocean evolves over many years. Every sample tells a story of adaptation. How can life thrive in such extreme conditions, using only the remains of a giant as fuel? It is a complex web. If you remove the whale, you don't just lose one animal. You lose 1,000 species that depend on its death. These creatures have evolved specifically for this. They spend their lives searching the dark for the scent of a falling giant from the surface. Think about the timing. A whale fall is a rare event. Yet, life always finds a way to locate it, even in the vastness. It is like a biological internet. Information travels through the water in the form of chemicals, guiding the hungry to the feast of the century. We are just now realizing that whale falls might be a primary way that species migrate across the deep, barren ocean floors of Earth. They act as stepping stones. Life jumps from one whale fall to the next, slowly spreading across the thousands of miles of deep abyss. Without these giants, the deep sea would be a series of isolated islands, unable to share life or diversity across the vast underwater plains. This is why protecting whales is about more than just the animals we see. It is about protecting the hidden universe beneath the waves. The surface and the deep are one. They are connected by a cycle of life and death that has continued for millions of years. We often fear the dark, but in the case of the whale fall, the dark is where life is most resilient and most surprisingly beautiful. Even in the total absence of the sun, the whale brings light in the form of biological energy and a chance for new life. It is a story that should change how you look at the ocean forever. Death is never the end. It is a spectacular new beginning. The abyss is alive. It is hungry. It is waiting. And it is more complex than we ever imagined in our wildest, most vivid dreams. Thank you for joining us on this journey to the bottom of the world. There is so much more left for us to discover. Respect the ocean, respect the giants, and never stop asking what lies beneath the surface of our incredible, mysterious, and blue home planet. 100 years of life from one single moment of silence. That is the power of nature. That is the secret of the whale. See you in the next mystery. Don't forget to like and comment whale key if you watched until the very end of this video. The journey continues, even in the silence. The ocean never truly sleeps, and neither does the cycle of life that sustains us all. Subscribe for more incredible stories from the edge of the unknown. We will see you very soon in the next deep, dark, blue abyss.